from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And you may have noticed from the picture being a little bit more grainy than normal. I am recording this once again on my laptop, not on my desktop. My desktop's getting better, right? It's getting better. But boy, it's not ready to rock and roll yet. I think I might have to buy a new computer. I really want to. Okay, here's what I found out. When I've been opening like big apps on my, my laptop, it's got a like a solid state hard drive. It doesn't have like one of the old fashioned whizzy wheel hard drives. Actually, it has like like a disc on key built into it. That type of hard drive. Boy, does everything move much quicker on my desktop. But it's a Mac, and they came up with this thing called a Fusion drive a few years ago. And it was never very good, right? It never really worked very well, which was like a regular drive, and a little bit of it was memory, whatever. So yeah, I think it's dying. But who knows what dares to dream? But I think it might be time to get a new computer. You know what? It might also be time to get a new Doctor Who. To get a new Doctor Who. It is not doing very well. Doctor Who is not very. However bad my desktop might be doing, so much better than Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who, which has failed in every way, shape, or form. I am waiting for the right moment. It might be soon. It might be very soon. Somebody who left a comment a while ago called Chibnall the face of failure. I'm like, man, that's gotta be an awesome thumbnail. Like you do a face of evil, or like instead of Tom Baker's face, you have Chibnall's face in the mountain. I just think that's going to be really funny. I think we're getting there. And I also got to find if the person who suggested that wants to be mentioned or not. I always assumed everybody did until I did the first time. People were like, no, look, I watch you. I don't want anybody to know I watch you. Like, let's keep it all on the DL, baby. Let's keep it all on the DL. So I only credit people if they tell me to, and I remember two things. I remember that they asked me to, right? Two things that are a bit tricky for the old boomer memory. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment. What else is there? Like, share, subscribe, comment. Subscribe is really good. YouTube has throttled my channel a bit of late. If you could subscribe, that'd be really, really good. If you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're on Rumble, baby, hit the Rumble button. Yes, you can hit that Rumble button. It's very exciting. It's not exciting at all. It really should be. But the people at Rumble aren't really that into it. Okay, so hit the Rumble button. Subscribe me on Rumble. Go and check out my Substack. My Substack is hurting because, man, that needs my desktop, right? To be able to manage that, my Substack is totally hurting. But again, I just got another thing working, so I'm really kind of excited, right? I'm really kind of excited. Plus, I got all the files off that I wanted, which was like the biggest deal to me. Biggest deal to Chris Chibnall. Well, is it ratings? He might deny that, right? He might deny that. I don't think he's going down too well at the BBC, right? And you can't really blame Chris Chibnall. He came in doing exactly what the BBC wanted, right? We saw the rot set in Doctor Who in the Moffat years with like first we had to have everything centered around Clara, who was, let's be fair, she wasn't the greatest companion. She was a bit smug. I honestly, for it to be a good companion, you've got to be somebody who you would like somewhat want to sleep with, right? That's really quite important thing. Let's go through the companion for a second. Like, Barbara, yes. I mean, although she'll tell you what you're doing wrong, right? Barbara, yes. Susan, well, she can stop warbling. Yeah, I mean, I guess by the time she left, okay, so she wasn't meant to be that sexual, I guess. Vicky, totally. Oh yeah. Vicky, I was always surprised that what's his name with the quincolor mask didn't like use that for more nefarious practice, right? So Vicky totally it was either Ben and Polly. Oh yes, absolutely. Did I miss anybody? There's Dodo. Well, honestly, I mean, like Jackie Lane, not so much, but Lauren Cornelius playing Dodo on Big Finish. Yes, okay, that works. I guess Jackie Lane in a day. So you can say the same about what's the name, Caroline John. Joe Grubb. These are all people that who you would actually like to sleep with. Clara, like, I don't know, she'll just give you a headache by being so smug all the time and having such quick comebacks and being, it just, all the tapped up, it just doesn't appeal to me, right? Doesn't appeal to me. But you can see the rot set in there, also the Missy, BBC loved that. Bill Potts having to mention she was a lesbian every 24 seconds. I think that was a contractual obligation. And, really, go back and listen to the audio she did during lockdown, talking about the BLM riots, right? So isn't that different now in context, right? Did you know that everybody, all the leaders of BLM are now like, well, not all leaders, many of the leaders are have embezzled millions and millions of dollars to buy themselves big homes, right? It was just so open corruption, and George Floyd. Saint, no, he undoubtedly is. He's absolutely Saint, evilly murdered by evil racist police force. Also died with a lethal dose of fentanyl in his system. So that didn't really age too well, did it? When it was really cringy. It was like, oh, we all came out together. Oh, and they had a feeling they were overthrowing the evil. Evil racists had taken over the world. Darling, you overthrew the evil racists by one way or other. Let's not be too coy about it. You overthrew the evil racists. However, now the world they weren't evil racists, and the world is about to implode. I mean, again, when I record a video, I'm putting this out. So I'm recording this on Tuesday, the 19th, and then when I record a video for the future, I'm recording a video for Thursday right after this, right? I never know if it's going to go out, right? I never know. Oh, the apocalypse. That just happened. So, you can really see the rot set in them. And it's exactly what the BBC wanted. I mean, that's why Doctor Who is the perfect show for the centenary, because it's exactly what the BBC is today. So what else is the BBC today? A failure. Like a massive failure. Let's look at how it's going, shall we? Let's look at how it's going. Look at the ratings. So we'll scoot down here. I mean, listen, it started off bad, right? It started off pretty bad at 4.43 overnight. Then, they have bumped that up to 5.8. They ended up getting a 1.4 million bump, which is such BS. It really is. I mean, it's really just such incredible BS. If somebody watches it for more than 2 minutes on iPlayer, they get counted as a view. Really, I'd love to see Sylvester McCoy, get that kind of consideration. So, up until now, the lowest rated episode ever, I believe, was Battlefield. Episode 1, 3.3 million. I believe. I'm not looking it up because I can't be bothered, but it's around there, 3.3 million. That's called the live figure. That's people who watched it when it went out. Doesn't take into account people who recorded on those clunky old VHS, on those video cassettes. Oh, I miss those video cassettes. Actually, no, I don't. They took up a lot of room. I do like how media, when it grows, it gets smaller, right? I've had much more shelf space, right? So I'm very much enjoying the Blu-ray box sets. 4.43, pretty darn bad, right? Even if it was real, and that was the very very what's the word? Promoted season premiere. Yeah, and it kind of fell off a cliff pretty darn quickly. Went to 3.96, 3.76, 3.45, 3.82, 3.58, and finally, Eve of the Dalek, which I think is their best episode. Really? I honestly do. I honestly think it's their best episode. It's shit. Don't get me wrong, it's shit, and it's got creepy Nick in it, who is stalking Ace and B for it's just weird, right? And there's a lot of it that is just very, very, very strange, which I don't really understand. So I think that's the best episode. Great direction. I mean, that first time director was fantastic. Did a really, really good job. 3.21. So I think that's fair to say lowest rated ever, lower rated than Battlefield. But then they added in another 1.1 million because 1.2 million, I should say, after people accidentally clicked on it on iPlayer for a little bit. Then that's a view. Oh, no, 100%. That's view. No, legitimate view. No, really, it was somebody just scrolled by. But anyway, so they got up to 4.4. bullshit. I mean, honestly, also if you want to compare apples to apples, Battlefield was reviled by the BBC, hated by the BBC, not promoted, underfunded, looked awful. The special edition is a lot better. The editing is much better. You don't get the very clunky boom sequence. Boom! Oh God, Sophie, why, darling, why? Don't get the in the edited one, but the population was 20% less, so I think you could add 20% onto that 3.3, making it 3.9. Yeah, quite legitimately, and then you're not adding in people who videoed it. Excuse me. It was on the same time as Corrie, right? And most people's mum wanted to watch Corrie, so most people had to either record it or go and watch it on the black and white TV in the kitchen on the rickety stool. So most people would bloody record it, okay? Not a lot, but that wasn't factored in. So now, however, I think finally, according to every metric possible, right? Every metric possible, unless something bizarre happens, we have the lowest rated episode of Doctor Who ever, right? Absolutely ever. Lowest rated episode of Doctor Who ever, that anybody has ever seen. Legend of the Sea Devils. I like to call it Lesbians of the Sea Devils. Either way, smells a lot of fish. Received an overnight of 2.2 million. So how many people watched that live, right? We don't know. I mean, I could get a subscription to the Bob, the rating company, but it's a fortune, right? It's like thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm not going to do that just to go, nah. But we do know that the previous special that got 3.21 on the overnight only got 2 million live viewers. So like it lost 700,000. So I think we could be looking at legitimately maybe under 1 million live viewers. It might have been really that bad, right? It might have been really, really that bad. 1.5 million. Again, under half of Sylvester's rating, right? On the reviled Battlefield, that was not looked after by the BBC compared to this, right? Very, very heavily promoted. Darling, you should have kept it to yourself. Now, why is it failing so badly? I mean, well, obviously the first thing is it's not very good. It's not very. But I don't think people would sit around and pontificate and think about why it's failing so much. Like I do, right? Because I'm a bit of a weirdo. I'm a bit of a Doctor Who freak, and I am a weirdo. I will pontificate about that quite a lot. I think it's because of the platforming of an ideological agenda that is disconnected from reality, right? I listened to Doctor Who Redacted, and that's another great example of this. But the reality that isn't real is that it's a normative state for human beings to be sexually and gender fluid, right? It's a normative state. It's not now. That's not normative in no way. In no way or any means it has to. It should come with any form of persecution or physical attack. Listen, nobody should treat trans people the way that Jeremy Corbyn's Labour. What's the word? Momentum. Nobody should treat them as badly as Labour treated Jews. Right? Nobody should do that. Nobody should be into racism in that way. Funnily enough, it's all the people in Jeremy Corbyn's Labour who are screaming about this. So, I don't know. But nobody should do that. Absolutely nobody should do that. And it shouldn't get worse. There shouldn't be any physical assaults. But nobody should treat trans people with the bigotry that Jews experience from Jeremy Corbyn's Labour, right? 100%. I agree with you. But the fact is, most people aren't sexually fluid. Most people isn't gender, and most people aren't gender fluid, and presenting it as the norm disconnects it from reality. So most people don't really think about it that much, right? Most people just go, oh, whatever, but they don't really sit and think about it. So what happens is, I think they just get bored and turn off. I mean, first it's boring. I mean, the actual technical skill, right, going into writing these episodes in general is very, very low. I will say about Ella Road though, I think she probably brought a decent sense of pace to the episode Legend of the Sea Devils. It had a very cinematic movie pace. It didn't really make any sense and lots of plot holes. I'm going to blame all that on Chibnall, right? But I think she did have a kind of like cinematic pace. Didn't know anything about sea devils, right? Had little to nothing to do with sea devils other than, you know, they didn't act like sea devils. They were basically Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, the second and third or however many are, when you have Bill Nighy as like the squid monster person. That's essentially who they were, right? And it really didn't make any sense whatsoever. But yeah, in terms of like doing a story that rattles along, it was the script was workable, and but you know, I still say the thing that disconnects it and bores people to death is you know, this idea is reflecting back. It's reflecting another world back at the audience, right? How much of another world is it? So Jodie Whittaker and Mandigan were very, very proud of their lesbian storyline, right? Of their lesbian feelings, because love is love, and no boundaries of love should ever be in front of love, because love is love. Oh, Icky Thump, love is love. Okay, so Jodie, Mandip, how many women have you slept with? Was that none? None. Sophie Aldred. I remember who we're going to be talking about soon. Sophie Aldred. I remember you saying in the interviews on a Big Finish audio, which wasn't very good, that when it was hinted that Ace might be bi, right? She said, "Well, I think that makes sense because I don't think she'll be closed off." So, Sophie, darling, how much carpet do you munch? I'm going to make a guess 0, right? I'm going to make a guess that you've never had any lesbian sex. Why am I going to make this guess? Because most of the population of our species has not had same-sex relations. Why have they not had same-sex relations? Well, the people who like same-sex relations say, or they feel drawn to, I think like's the wrong word. Anyway, they say, well, it's because they're so closed off and, you know, they're not being honest with themselves. And no, it's because they're straight, right? It's like, and there's nothing wrong with being straight. There's nothing wrong with being straight. You know, it's live and let live, baby. Live and let live is what I say. But I think that's why it's really faring so badly. It's badly written. And the reason it's badly written because they try to put in all these like ridiculous ideological plot points, and they're trying to do it really subtly, and they're shit at it. They have no idea how to do it. I would say the Dr. and Yaz's lesbian awakening discussions in Legend of the Sea Devils was probably some of their least clunky bits of platforming, right? So has not done very well. I don't see it getting more than a 3.4 when it's consolidated on the full screen. Probably less. Like, I mean, man, could you? I hope the consolidator's under 3.3 because at that point, there's not. Oh, actually, you've got to wait for 28 days, so they always squeeze another couple of 100,000, right? I hope it ends up under 3.3 because at that point, she's the lowest rated ever, right? And for good reason, for very good reason. She's not very good at the job, right? She's just not very good. And being Doctor Who, really? It's like, I mean, okay, to be Doctor Who, you've got to be authoritative, you've got to be reintelligent, and you've got to know how to run up and down corridors, or at least give the impression you can do that. Jodie does not do that. So, looking to the future, I also saw we had this story as well, which I thought was a little bit surprising. Let's have a look at this. Jodie Whittaker, Doctor Who replacement, gets an announcement window. I didn't think we were going to hear, and now CBR's a terrible show website. Now, I didn't think we were going to get any announcement until after the centenary special, right? Because I thought Rusty Davies is bit of a, even though I think he absolutely hates this era, I think he's a bit of a gentleman, right? I think he's a bit of a gentleman, and he won't step on somebody else's toes professionally. So so I didn't think we were going to get any look into this. This is saying differently. Let's see what it's got to say. Jodie Whittaker's got a place on the BBC Doctor Who, not really BBC anymore, and the 14th iteration of the Doctor. Will he be? I don't know. All right, is expected to announce within the next few weeks. Really, I'm intrigued. What is the what's the basis of this? Let's have a look. Doctor Who star Jodie Whittaker's replacement may be revealed sooner than expected. Well, sooner than I expected. Whittaker's time as a Doctor is coming to an end. Was she ever the Doctor? No. No, she wasn't. It's going to, according to the BBC, the 14th Doctor will be revealed in the upcoming weeks. When? I've been watching this quite closely. I don't remember hearing anything about this. Though a specific date has not been provided, it was also revealed that two former Doctor Who companions, Tegan and Ace, will return for Whittaker's final episode, as the 13th Doctor, strutting and brave. Okay, so Janet Fielding. Okay, I want to know about the announcement. I'm going to look at Janet Fielding and Sophie Fielding in a minute. Okay, so Whittaker premiered as the 13th Doctor and the first woman to play the role in 2018. 2017, if you count the woman who fell to earth. Right? Twice upon a time. Announced in July 2021 that they would hand over to the keys of the TARDIS with a trio of specials airing in fall 2022. No, one of them ends in fall 2022. One of them is the New Year's special, and one of them was this piece of garbage, right? So that's how that all happened, right? I just get some basic facts right. General said in a statement that he and Whittaker made a 383 series at Outpack. No, you didn't, you lying piece of crap, right? You did not do that. I know you didn't do that. You know you didn't do that. Most people watching this know you didn't do that, right? With each of them, is each other at the start of this once-in-a-lifetime blast. What a blast. In 2017, I opened up my glorious gift box. Okay, fine. Glorious gift box of size 13 shoes, Whittaker said on the announcement of a departure. I wouldn't have guessed the Brilliant Adventures. Well, I wouldn't have guessed any Brilliant Adventures because I've seen them and they're not. I would never have guessed have so many Brilliant Adventures. But they're not. Oh, okay. I didn't in the right voice. I'm terribly sorry. In 2017, I opened my glorious gift box of size 13 shoes. Really? That's the first thing you talk about with Doctor Who. Like, you get the role of Doctor Who, you talk about the shoes. Really? I could not have guessed the Brilliant Adventures, Worlds and Wonders. I was to see them. Of course you couldn't have guessed. You've never seen bloody Doctor Who. That's very evident from your performance. Right, yes, no, we understand that. You're not surprising anyone. My heart is so full of love for the show. Love is love. Oh, love is love. Have you ever had lesbian sex, said Jodie? Really? You sound like a bit of a bigot to me. You sound like a bit of a bigot. You better get marching some carpet, darling. Me, I'm super straight, so that I ain't sucking cock. So that's just not happening, mate. I'm full of love for the show, the team who makes it, and for the fans who used to watch it. I added the word used to. And for what it's brought to my life. What, the end of your career? Well, okay, I bet this acting thing went on a bit too long for you. Okay. When are we finding out about the announcement? Following the exit of the 13th Doctor, Rusty Davies will be returning to Doctor Who in 2023, taking over as showrunner for the 6th anniversary, who is credited with reviving... Davies, who was credited with reviving the show in 2005, served as showrunner, blah, blah, blah. Moffat took over. The first of the specials, Legend of the Sea Devils, aired on April 17th. A release date remaining has two... The release date for the remaining two, one has not been out. So we didn't get the answer. Okay, like really? What is this like? Did somebody just telepathically send this to you? Right? Yeah. Is that how they did? What the hell? How is this headline in any way connected to reality? Oh, I forgot. 2022. Doesn't matter that it's not connected to reality. So let's see how who they think will be the next Doctor, right? Daily Express, okay? Breaking news. Ukraine to leave Russian pilots quaking with new British missile launchers. Dude, you don't want to do that. Russia's got a lot of nuclear weapons, and they might get pissed off, right? And Putin doesn't seem too sound. Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker's replacement, odds on to be David Tennant. It's getting more and more likely, isn't it? Right? Will he be in for one special? Will he be playing the 10th Doctor? Will he do something else? it seems they got to do a lot of damage control, doesn't it? Right? I mean, does that sound fair to you? It sounds fair to me. Doctor Who fans are still none the wiser about who will be replacing Jodie Whittaker, but previous Doctor, according to leading bookmakers, Corel could be trying back to, this is just guesswork. No, I have as much information. Jodie Whittaker, Scottish actor, tip for the TARDIS again, Sea Devils, blah, 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 David Tennant, 4 or 5. 4 and 5 bets placed in on the next Doctor has been for David. Okay, so that's what I mean, could be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprising at all, right? Wouldn't be surprising at all. Many punters believe he is set for a sensational return, replacing Jodie Whittaker. Again, maybe it's a way of getting people to like Doctor Who again. You know, there is that idea. Yeah, again, quite a lot of damage control to be done, but not to the very, very small LGBTQ plus alphabet community, who are all of agog. They are very, very happy. They're very happy. Doctor Who fans cheer as Doctor confesses love for Companion. Didn't really confess love for Companion. Ashel's running around doing lots of things, right? Oh, we gotta save the world! Icky's up! Oh, we're gonna do this! Oh, plug this in here! And this is basically what happened, right? I'm not exaggerating at all. And she was running around, flapping around, being useless as always, because that's what Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who is, useless. She has a little chat with, firstly, they nearly kissed twice in the episode, right? So what was the first time? They're alone in the TARDIS, right? And it's, if you ever see the Mark Gatiss sketch where he's playing Sidney Newman, pitching 26 years of Doctor Who to whoever, I don't know, but to the BBC, right? There's a bit in it where there's a silence and they stare at each other and it look like they're about to kiss, and then they don't. So that happens in that first one when they first TARDIS scene where they Yaz looks longingly at the Doctor and she's a bit like, a bit funny. Then later when they materialize on the seabed and they open the doors and it's all pretty, all the fish swimming around, she's like, hey, look at me, not a bad date, mate. And actually that's what her face looked like, only a little bit more like repellent, right? Not bad. And she got more dykey as the episode went along. I think her roots got bigger, and also her makeup got less, right? She looked very, very dykey, right? Not lipstick lesbian, very dykey. So eventually, at the end of the episode, she's like, you know what I said about dating? Oh, okay, I used to. Don't do it anymore. Oh, I used to, but if I did, it'll be with you. It would be with you, Yaz, because you're the brilliant, you're the best person I've ever met. Really? I mean, I've never seen anything that made me think that Yaz is only slightly less incompetent than the Doctor, right? And you know, the only reason she's slightly less incompetent because she has less opportunity, right? That's it. You know, she has less opportunity for incompetence because that's who she is. Because she has less opportunity. Because she has no time and space machine. Doctor Who has delighted fans by finally confirming a queer romance between the Doctor and a companion Yaz. Well, it's actually the lack of one in the new special, Legend of the Sea Devils, because love is love. Love is, again, Jodie, why are you, like, why are you only sleeping with men? What's wrong with you? You sound a bit weird, darling, right? Why are you still a woman? What's wrong with you? Why not transition to a bloke? Keep your vagina. It doesn't really matter in this day and age. No, you know what I want to do? But it's so normal, right? It's so normal. That's what you keep telling us. This is incredibly normal. Right? Why don't you do this incredibly normal thing? Maybe it's not incredibly normal. Maybe you're full of shit. That could be. The long-running sci-fi show's Easter special. Listen, I mean, you know, you always want to put lesbian romances and tie them to, you know, the Lord and Savior's rebirth, right? Yeah, that or yeah, you know that Bible thing, yeah, that's really anti-LGBTQ plus relations, yeah, that's what we want to connect to it, right? Was it 13th Doctor Doctor and the actress is the first female in the iconic role. Very good for you, darling. Very good. And during the most recent season, Doctor Who's Whittaker's Last, the romantic tension has been simmering between the Doctor and her female companion, Yaz. Oh, scissoring in the fucking TARDIS. Aye. The new special, the Doctor and Yaz end up on the ocean floor, and Yaz says, "Oh, not a bad day, am I? So fine." Oh, dating's not something I really do. I mean, I used to. I have done. And if I was, believe me, it would be with you. You're one of the greatest people I've ever known, including my wife. Really? Really? How? Like, I kind of dipped out the River Song audio stories. The one set in the 70s in Unit was actually very good, right? But there have been 9-10 seasons worth of them, right? It's I don't see that happening with Yaz, right? I don't see there being 9-10 seasons worth of box sets coming from the Yaz Adventures. Oh, if it was going to be anybody, it was you. But I can't, because at some point time always runs out. So she's a coward, they're basically saying. I'm scared. Oh, it's going to be bad. I mean, really? I mean, there's so many ways of achieving immortality, in the Doctor Who universe. I mean, I guess just give us some regeneration energy. Work for Tectoon, right? But sexy job. The original adult job work site. Okay. I don't think I could get a job with sexy jobs, right? I think, listen, people are into weird stuff, though. Maybe I could. Maybe I could. Excuse me while I cry, says Pumpty on Twitter. And the scene, heart. I honestly believe this is potentially the best scene from the 13th year. Probably yes. Actually, you know why it's the best scene? It's because Jodie Whittaker can conceive of being a lesbian where she can't conceive of being a Time Lord, right? She just can't do it. The acting of Jodie and Amanda is just perfect. It's performed beautifully. This is where Thasmin ends in a stunning end. No, this is not where Thasmin ends, okay? Because we saw a trailer for her final story, and she's regenerating. And her last line was, yes! Oh, I think she's going to say, yes! Oh, I love you, Ikkies! And then she regenerates. I think that's good. We're going to get a bit of unrequited. It seems the sort of thing that Chris Chibnall would do. You know what else seems the sort of thing Chris Chibnall would do? Write an insanely unpopular episode of Doctor Who. So let's look at a few reviews, shall we? We have this one over here. Yeah, Gizmodo says, Doctor Who managed to make the high seas adventure as dull as dishwater. It really was. That's the funny thing. It really genuinely was. And the exposition was very clunky, right? At the end, the Doctor works out that these sea devils the chief sea devil is trying to destroy the world. They got a magic stone in it that can do anything, that can turn things into stone, can invert the poles. It can do this magic stone, and it glows orange. It was just kind of stupid, right? But more than anything, yeah, it was dull, right? And amazingly, when I did a review the first night, recap review, I had to keep prodding myself to keep me awake. It was that dull. Legend of the Sea Devils was Jodie's penultimate adventure, but she went out with all the energy of a damp squid. I think that's fair. I do think that's fair. I'm going to read these in more detail on my live stream on Wednesday, right? Oh, blimey. Well, get this out the blood. Here, do I refresh the window, maybe? I mean, like, if I can't see the headline for the ad, there's something wrong there. Doctor Who navigates rocky seas and rocky relations with Legend of the Sea Devils. We're coming to the end of the 13th Doctor. Jodie Whittaker is already mid through her farewell tour specials with Legend of the Sea Devils. This Easter special of Doctor Who, and the latest before the Fool's centenary episode, which will see Jodie Whittaker departing the role with a new, still unknown actor stepping into the TARDIS. We ain't seeing the actor in this, right? There's no. I mean, I doubt we're seeing it, but I think it's very, very unlikely. Next stepping in the TARDIS. So you would think this spring special would be the chance for the Doctor to pull out some big guns and give Whittaker a bombastic, small-sparkling adventure she deserves. She doesn't deserve anything. She deserves before she hands in the keys to the TARDIS. While Legend of the Sea Devil sounds like the sort of swashbuckling adventure on paper, it's still in dire need of much-needed Doctor Who swagger. Yes, There was no Doctor Who swagger. That is 100% correct, because Whittaker has no swagger. When she swaggers, she's just kind of like arrogant and annoying. Right? That's her swagger. She's just like, and like she's just irritating. She has no swagger, right? Because she has no authority whatsoever. Here on Good Vibes Nation. Oh, I've never heard of them. Okay, we accept all your cookies, baby. Give me your cookies. Doctor Who, Legend of the Sea Devils review. Underdeveloped characters. Well, again, you've got to expect that from Chibnall. Yeah, underdeveloped characters. They were very excited about having Madam Chang in it, or Madam Ching, or Madam Chang, Pirate Queen. You know what you learnt about her? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Right? They actually could have educated. They did the same thing with Demons of the Punjab, right? They had no education whatsoever for the partition. So they said, "Oh, no, you're a pirate queen. Oh, a big fan of you," and that was it. Like, why don't we learn anything about her life, right? Again, much like in Demons of the Punjab, I can imagine David Tennant rattling off a couple of lines, telling you exactly what's going on. Same thing here, but no, it's written by Chibnall, who's not very, very good. So what does a writer do when they're not very good and they've utterly failed in every way, right? When they've utterly and completely failed, what does a writer do? A writer has to rely on gimmicks, right? Has to rely on gimmicks. And so we got this one for the trailer for a final episode. Doctor Who Centenary Special, Returning Companions Explained. They want viewers. I mean, look, Sophie and Janet don't look like... It doesn't look like time has been gracious to either of them, right? It does look like they've been beaten with an ugly stick. I mean, listen, love them to death. And people are saying, "Oh, how could they do this? How could they take part in this travesty?" They're actors, or at least they used to be. I mean, they deserve a living. Somebody offers you money for a work that you kind of what you do or used to. You're gonna do it, right? You could why wouldn't I do it? I don't understand. Two classic Doctor Who companions are returning for the Centenary Special. Here's everything viewers need to know about Ace and Tegan Javanka. Why don't you just go get the DVDs or Blu-rays, right? Why do you watch it? No, that'd be crazy. The upcoming Doctor Who Centenary Special is bringing back classic companions Ace, Sophie Aldrin, and Tegan Javanka. And here's what the audience need to know about them. Nothing, really. I doubt they're going to be characters, because Chibnall can't write characters. Current Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall grew up as a fan of the classic series in the 1980s. I don't really believe it. Don't you think it could have been written a little bit better? Really? I mean, like everything he's done. His tenure increasingly feels as though it capitalized on nostalgia. No. He uses nostalgia to get views, right? Why were there Sea Devils in the Easter special? Because people vaguely recognize Sea Devils, and it's like you can get excited about. Who do you think is going to be excited about Ace and Tegan? Really? I mean, like, the only people who know about Ace and Tegan is you and bloody me. I'll tell you exactly who's going to be excited about it. The alphabet community, right? They're going to be excited about it because I think they both convinced themselves that both these characters are gay, right? I think they had the Tegan-Nissa shipping, and again, it was intimated that Ace was bi. Let's read this. Teddy there has been described as something of a love letter to the BBC with plenty Easter egg for long-term Doctor Who fans. Oh, it's going to make it much worse. Classic Doctor Who companions Tegan, Javanka and Ace will return the upcoming Doctor Who Centenary Special, Jodie Whittaker's final episode, and the 13th final episode of the 13th Doctor. The precise nation of their return is unknown. They're in it, okay? It's unknown. Well, we will know when we see it, I guess. Although the dialogue seems to suggest that neither companion had heard from the Doctor in decades. Again, this contradicts Big Finish, but nothing matters. It also contradicts Sophie Aldrin's book she wrote, wasn't it? I think. It's possible the two are connected to events in a newly launched audio drama, Doctor Who Redacted. Oh, God. Man, I'm reviewing that next. That's the next video I record. Doctor Who Redacted. Is everything you would expect. It's everything you would expect, but it's slightly better than normal. You know why? Because the woman who wrote it has a penis, right? And I'm just thinking, having a penis might really help you understand how to write Doctor Who, right? Even if you're a woman, right? So the woman who wrote it has a stunning and brave female penis. I think that stunning and brave female penis, gave Juno Dawson a couple of good ideas there. Where are we? All that from the Doctor's redacted, in which old friends and allies of the Doctor being erased from history. If that's indeed the case, the BBC is essentially using a free audio drama to continue the story in spite of disruption caused by coronavirus pandemic. Well, they could have done, Jodie Whittaker audios, right? They totally could have done that. But who's going to listen to them, right? Who's going to listen to them? Those familiar with the classic Doctor Who series will undoubtedly be delighted to see Tegan and Ace return. Not really. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing them, in a 60s special. Here it just seems kind of shoehorned in. Many others, however, won't actually know who the women are, not least because, by the way, these women have vaginas. It's really weird. They both have vaginas. And also, I don't think either of them have ever been gay. I don't know, sounds like bigots to me. Not least alluded to the show not least because they've only been alluded to the show since the 2005 relaunch. Here's everything viewers need to... Okay, fine, let's see what they've got to say about them. Ace is a classic 7th Doctor companion. Yeah, she was like the proto modern companion. In fact, Battlefield, Survival segs beautifully into Rose, right? It really, really does. It's incredible. They're very, very thematically similar. In a sense in which Sophie Alders Ace was the first, they were the same thing, companion, she did a lot more than just scream and ask questions. In the 87 story Dragonfire, which introduced, Ace was a mystery for the 7th Doctor to solve. A teenage girl from Perryville who was on Iceworld, a mysterious time storm. The Doctor gradually learned that she had been planted there by one of his ancient enemies, Fenric. Wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a Fenric rematch. But Ace successfully overcame Fenric's influence to become one of his closest allies. The relationship between the Doctor and Ace is a complex one, however, because the 7th Doctor was a manipulative chess player who frequently used Ace as one of his pawns, and who sometimes suspected he was sacrificed without a second thought if he deemed it necessary. I often called her a pawn, but there was that great line in Battlefield, right, where Morgaine refers to the Doctor and your pawns, right, and then who's playing chess? I'm playing poker, and she comes through like the whizzy, looks like the Scorpio teleport effect. And I've got an ace up my sleeve. I love that line, right? That was a really great line. Ace's story came to an abrupt end when BBC cancelled Doctor Who in 89. She was last seen in the classic story Survival, if you not count Big Finish, I guess, with the production team hurriedly putting together an optimistic conclusion when they realised the show hadn't been renewed. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. The next few years, I mean, it was written on a back of cigarettes, I think. I'm not sure. It was something like that. No, that was Mel's leaving speech. Was written on BBC napkins, I believe. The next few years saw Doctor Who reinvent itself, however. The franchise kept alive through tie-ins. Ace's continued popularity in New Adventures range, also the comics, where she became a catsuit-wearing Dalek killer. Yeah, she was a lot sexier when they stopped connecting her to the actress. Although she did quite a good photo shoot, but still was never that sexy. It was more like a rubber catsuit as well. More recent novels have a different story, though, with Aldridge's own book, At Childhood's End, revealing that she left the Doctor to run a charity that would hope the world, like a charitable world, I think it's called, a charitable, something, I can't remember, it's spelled out ACE, right, where apparently she'd used the time with the Doctor's opportunity to make some shrewd investments and matured into in the present day, making her a wealthy philanthropist. So she Back to the Future did, right? She got the sports almanac, right? She Back to the Future did. The Doctor Who Centenary special trailer hinted that this particular story may well have been dropped because she, including the dialogue, she hasn't spoken to the Doctor for 30 years. In the book, she worked alongside Whittaker's. Okay, fine. So even that's being retconned away, right? The trailer hinted at the return of one of the trademark items, the supercharged baseball bat. Really? I didn't notice that. I saw her, like, firing a gun in the story Remembrance of the Daleks. Apparently, appropriate enough, another anniversary adventure. He gave a doctor a baseball bat with powered from the ancient artifact, Gallifreyan artifact, the Hand of Omega. That was awesome. Like, see, now once you start talking about good Doctor Who, I get excited, right? I'm like, oh, do you remember the bit where he runs it? Was it episode 3 or 4? Episode 3 cliffhanger, right? At the beginning, where he runs in, he's got the thingy rigged up on Spyrodon to, like, confuse the Daleks. Awesome, right? Freaking awesome. Love that story. Choose to destroy the Daleks. Who you calling small? Small here with a female, right? It was great. I loved it. Providing Ace is definitely not to be underestimated, but still strangely heterosexual. What's wrong with you, darling? What's wrong with you? I don't understand. The baseball bat itself was destroyed as Ace used it with far too much enthusiasm, but presumably the Doctor repaired it and maybe he just gave her another one. Tegan Jaranka, blimey. You shouldn't put that picture up next to, this one, which looks like a troglodyte from hell. Really? That is like that. Yeah, that's the Tegan we know and love. Tegan, darling, you want to try out a boob tube? Yeah, maybe. That might work. Played by Janet Fielding. Tegan Jaranka made a debut. God, really? We're just going to talk about Tegan in the story Logopolis. Tom Baker's regeneration story. Airline stewardess from Australia. Australia was big in Doctor Who at the time. When she entered the TARDIS, hoping to call for the police when the car breakdown. Amusingly, it's the only time anyone in TARDIS assuming to make use of it as a police box. The only time. I mean, I guess you're not counting Bernard Cribbins in Dalek Invasion of the Earth. Tegan was promptly whisked away on a series of adventures alongside commanders Nyssa and Adric, and developed a strong relationship with the Fifth Doctor. Tegan left the Doctor when managed to get back to Heathrow, only for the paths to cross on the next episode. A good click, tell you, good bit of cliffhangering from JNT there. When her cousin got caught up in Time Lord machinations, right? Tegan is one of the most heartbreaking departures of the classic series. Oh, it's just not fun anymore, right? When she left in Resurrection of the Daleks. Great. Again, great episode. There is, however, one further connection between Ace and Tegan. Ace's farewell story's survival featured lesbian subtext in response to then Prime Minister's Margaret Thatcher's anti-gay policies. Really? I mean, I can see it in Happiness Patrol. Let me know in the comments, right? Especially if you're gay. Somebody point out, like, I understand all the cats were women, right? Lisa Barrowman. But, like, what? What was the gay side? I didn't catch that, right? Anti-gay policies, although the costume decisions unfortunately obscured it. What? I have no idea. Look, what costumes decision? Meanwhile, long-time viewers believe Tegan and her fellow companion Nyssa were in a lesbian relationship. Again, I don't think any of these people are gay, right? I mean, look, maybe she is. Maybe Janet Fielding is gay. I don't think she is, right? But this is this fiction that, like, sexuality is like you can Velcro on and off. Today I'm a lesbian. Today I'm gonna be a boy. I mean, like, really, it doesn't work. I don't think humans work in that way. Meanwhile, Ralph D. Davis confirmed the romance theory in a short story published in 2020 during the pandemic. Doctor Who FLOPS launched an LGBTQ plus companion romance for Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor and a current companion, Yaz. One that's developed a little in the spring's special. Not calling it special anymore. So it seems appropriate that Chibnall bring back two classic companions who are tied to the LGBTQ plus themes. That makes sense. Only time will tell whether they'll develop this. Develop them in the final Doctor Who special, though. Time will tell. I think it's reasonably likely, right? I mean, it's a sort of tokenism that Chris Chibnall does normally go in for. So there you go, a bit of a news roundup, and it's only scratching the surface. I have so much freaking news. Join me tomorrow night when we'll be going through these reviews in a lot more detail and just generally taking a lot of piss. We're going to be taking a lot of piss. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.